Hi, my name is Kristyn Cheatham. My artist name is Ava. I do acting, I do music. It's just always been my passion, and that's just part of who I am. I would have to say a lot of the battles that I've been facing recently have been things that I couldn't control. So when it's something that you can't control, you feel limited, you feel restricted, you feel caved in. And it also, being a cancer survivor, having that diagnosis, even though I got through it, the after effects of looking at the scars and looking at the discoloration from radiation, it could do a lot to your self-esteem in a way. And it could weigh down on you in a way while you're still battling the fact that you're a survivor. There's still other, aftermath on the emotions. My foundation was being brought up in the church. And what kept me grounded was I was always performing. I was always part of show choirs, groups, people that like to do what I love to do. And it just became a constant thing, always doing it. So that, I would have to say, was a big part in how I stayed grounded and focused and very intentional with what I want to do in life. Well, so what happened was I went to go get checked out because my mom was a 2-time cancer survivor within 20 years. So my mom was going on a regular checkup, and her doctor suggested that, hey, I think your daughter should go and get checked out early. I'm already 13 years younger than what the regular age would be. So that was favor right there. So when I went in, I knew that something was wrong when the person that came to get me, she said, I think we want to do this again. I had a feeling, okay, she wants to take me back to get more pictures. I said, okay, this doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. And I could see her whole demeanor change too. I'm like, okay, something is wrong. Don't know what they found or what. So I go back after that appointment. I go into a little backside room to meet with the specialist. And when he told me, my heart dropped. I was glad my mom was there, but it was just like this feeling of, wow, I knew there was a chance, but this is actually happening. I don't know how severe this is. I'm panicked. I'm scared. Like I don't want to be going through this right now, but it happened. We're here. So now, okay, what's next? Why is this happening to me? I'm a great person. I'm focused. I stay out of trouble for the most part. I'm just, why me and why now? I had big plans at the top of the year to go relocate and focus and really do more for my dreams and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, this isn't something small. This is, okay, you've been diagnosed with cancer. You have this diagnosis. Now you have to go through the whole entire process. So I felt like there's nothing I can do but go through this process because it's cancer. It's nothing smaller, nothing bigger than cancer in my mind. So I have to go through this. I have to put everything on hold. So now what? I didn't really have to feel like I had to put on a mask. Most of the time I didn't really want to think about it, but having appointments was a constant reminder. Having to go get biopsies, having to get x-rays, thinking they found something more after the initial diagnosis. It was a false positive, which I'm thankful for that. Because it has run in my family, I think people were more patient and understanding with the process. So it wasn't like I had to really consistently verbalize it. Okay, your mom went through this. Okay, we know what has to happen. I didn't feel like I had to put on a show, but after the fact, when I finally came out with having the cancer months after, people were like, I had no idea. Wow, you don't even look like, you look good. Wow. They weren't expecting that because I wasn't posting every day or posting how bad I was feeling. It was more like, okay, I just have to go through this, and I'm glad I caught it early. Let me just go through this. I would have to say, though, the most exhausting part of this was the radiation. The surgery was the easiest part. You go in, get the surgery, recover. I'm still healing from this. Radiation just ended 4 weeks ago. I had to do 5 days a week, 20 doses for 4 weeks of radiation. Even though it was caught early, it was an early diagnosis, I had to still do more than actually what my mom had to do. So I was tired, I was exhausted. I had discomfort, discoloration. So not only am I going through this, now I don't look the same. I don't feel like myself. That I felt like I couldn't be fully vulnerable with the public because I'm into performing. Okay, we'll have a gig coming up. I have to make sure I'm covered. I dealt with a lot of that more so. Slightly, because I just started delving into taking my music more seriously. So, wow, I just met some really important people. I have to share certain things because if I can't make a session or I can't make a rehearsal, they need to know that it's not because I'm not taking them seriously. So I was hesitant at first to sharing that information with my now manager, but he was very understanding, very patient. If anything, he was more patient. Do what you have to do for you, get better, and then let's get going. He was happy that it wasn't a more severe stage. So we were able to get through it, and I was no longer concerned with, are they going to still want to work with me? You know, I don't want to look like a liability. Like all of that was running through my mind because this is what I really want to do in life. Honestly, I didn't really change much. Instead of staying in more, I did go more out and about. But because I started getting tired and because the radiation started, I was kind of like to myself. I love Lifetime movies. I did a lot of that. I love ice cream. Everybody that knows me knows I love ice cream. I did some of that. My dog, of course, was my emotional support. I've had him for years. So it was just, I didn't change much, but I tried to do little things to just focus on what I'm doing. Okay, this is almost over. I even had a few songs recorded throughout that time. Okay, I'm okay. I'm gonna go into the studio and I'm gonna sing something and stuff like that just to keep the routine. Knowing that God has healed my mom twice, and she caught it early twice. And for it to happen to me, it just showed me that, wow, okay, God is really putting people in place to make sure that I stay on the right path, to make sure that I'm going to be okay. If I'm not thinking about getting checked out, okay, well, my mom's doctor put it in her ear that, hey, you should probably, even though we know we have to be cautious, have her get checked out. I know God is God, but if it wasn't for God using my mom's doctor, I don't know how severe it would have gotten, because I felt fine. I didn't feel any changes or anything like that. What would have happened had that not been the case? Honestly, at first I was mad. I was like, okay, why are we doing this? Why is this happening? I know what you could do. I know what you can do because I know what you did for my mom. I figured my mom is the miracle of the family. That was going to be enough, fine. But why are you letting this happen to me? I did have a why me energy because this is something serious. So for a minute, I didn't pull away, like I don't believe in God anymore. I didn't do any of that, but I was frustrated. And then after a while, I started to feel, okay, there's a blessing in this. There's a miracle in this. I was able to slow down. I was able to get my health on track. I was able to go through this while my parents are still here to help me. What if this happened 20 years from now? My parents could still be here at that age because my granddad is actually 91. Healthy, just, you wouldn't even think it. So, but you allowed it to happen now. You allowed it to happen early enough. The first half of the year, it was a lot of recovery, a new process. Now the second half of the year, I feel like, okay, now it's time. I'm able to fully do what I need to do. I'm healthy now and I can really focus. Well, my mom constantly said, okay, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. Some of my aunts, you're going to get through this, just very positive, because I did catch it early, but it's still an emotional, mental, physical battle that you can face while going through this. I ended up finding out somebody that's been a family friend. I never knew that she had cancer. She didn't disclose that, but oh yes, I went through this. You're going to be fine. So even though it sounds scary and feels scary, it's just knowing I had that support system. Knowing that my mom's oncologist is going to be my oncologist. It made me feel like I was in a safe space, even though I was navigating through some unfortunate circumstances. Well, To be transparent, a lot of my thoughts after surgery and after radiation were, what if, and it sounds a little vain, but what if the person I find that I'm interested in isn't attracted to me? Or they don't like my flaws, my blemishes, and they don't like the fact that you're gonna have to, they suggest that you take a hormone pill for 5 years. I don't have any children yet. What if the person that I'm interested in or want to marry wants children? I am at risk of the child having birth defects if I take this hormone pill for 5 years after the surgery and radiation's over. Okay, now I feel like, is this process ever going to be over? Because now, even though it's gone, well, there's a higher risk of it coming back because I'm so young. You know, that emotional, okay, your husband or partner is supposed to love you for you, yes, but realistically, people still have their preferences. Maybe they don't want someone who is at risk of getting cancer again. Maybe they like the fact that you're a fighter and a survivor, but it's like that plays in the back of my mind now. There's an added thing to my story, even though the surgery is gone, even though the cancer is gone. The title of the book, I would call it The Pause Before Play. The movie's not finished. Because I felt like I had to pause everything. The plans that I had, the things that I had in my mind to do the top of this year. It's like, even though I can go back to them after the fact, everything has to be at a pause. I have to get the surgery. I have to get the radiation. I have to go to these appointments. I have to pause everything. I can't skip. I can't fast forward. I can't do any of those things because I have to pause. So then when things are over and when things are done, I can now press play to finish the rest of my story. In a way, I feel like I was supposed to go through it. I do feel renewed. I feel like people say, oh, I'm so glad you're okay. I think I kind of mentally, when radiation was over, like I kept it behind me to where, oh, wait, I did go through that. Kind of like, okay, you've gone through this. I'm not going to stay in that mental space because I have things I have to do now. You know, it's time for me to live now. I don't have to be concerned with cancer right now anymore. You know, it's done. It's in the past. I can go and live and create and do what it is that I feel that I'm truly supposed to be doing. And I can just keep going forward. Now it's a lot of rehearsals. It's a whole lot of rehearsals, performances coming up. It's a whole lot more creating. It's a whole lot more being more grateful, living life more. Because I realized I was also like just comfortable with my routine. Oh, now this is showing me that I really can't take anything for granted. Like, because you never know when something is going to happen, when something is going to pop up. So you need to live right now as though all you have is a month left. All you have is this year. And so that in a way helped me. Okay, I was really comfortable. I wasn't living enough. Now I have to, because if I waited too late, I wouldn't have had that choice. So now I'm going to do it. Now it's time to do that. I would have to say, no matter what stage of cancer you may have been diagnosed with, you still have a chance to turn things around. You still have a chance to choose to be grateful that you're still here on this earth. And even though it might seem like it's the end, it can be the beginning of a new process, a new way of life. You still have a chance. I still had a chance. People in my family still had a chance. Another relative I found out, like during the process of me finding out that I had it, that they didn't even know that they had a form of bone cancer. It seemed as though there was no cure, but just 2 weeks ago, we found that there was an option for them. So there really is hope for you. There's hope for you. On Facebook, you can find me under Kristyn Cheatham Ava. On Instagram, you can find me on _Ava, AVA _ dreams with an S. And yeah, Ava Dreams, Ava. Those are my artist names, and my real name is Kristyn Cheatham.